Okay, let's bounce Cindy. Let's bounce Myrtle. Here it is. It's my turn. Let's bounce. I finally have friends. Michelle, I actually made some friends at my new school. Oh, it's gonna be kind of hard to bounce her because she's so big. When your bully gets fat. Yep, I said the F word. And if that triggered you, then you're probably new to this channel and a very sensitive individual. And if that's so, you are in the wrong place. We don't like your kind around here. Just kidding, you can stay. But today I'm going to tell you guys a story about the bully who used to make fun of my weight in middle school and high school, and how she is now the fat one. Yes, you know how in high school we all wish that was like Regina George of the group would just get fat and uncomfortable so that she would know how it felt to be fat and uncomfortable. Ew, don't judge me. Yes, I'm a personal trainer that should be wishing health and long life and hoping everyone is the healthiest person that they can be. But I am also a fragile, delicate little creature who was always the new girl almost every year and sat by herself at lunch, sometimes eating lunch in the bathroom. Yeah, remember that scene from Mean Girls with Lindsay Lohan when she's eating in the bathroom by herself? I watched that in high school when I was due and I cried because it spoke to me. Shout out to all my new girls and boys that are in high school and middle school. Don't worry, it'll get better. So yes, I was a new girl almost every single year, and you know how you are when you're in middle school or high school. You are an insecure individual. So you care what people think. You want friends. When you don't have friends, you feel alone, blah, 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 all that middle school, high school stuff. So I felt that way up until I was a junior, and then I couldn't give a about having friends. I didn't really care. And then it's funny how when you don't care, then people want to be friends with you. Anyway, back to the story. I was the new girl once again. This takes place in middle school. And somehow this group of girls befriended me. I think it was on accident. One of the girls were super nice and I was in a group with her in class, and she ended up, you know, being my friend and then invited me to eat lunch with them, and then eventually became a school friend. I personally think she just felt really bad for me because I had no friends, and so she decided to just be nice and, you know, take me under her wing. So all the girls were actually very nice, sweet girls, except for one. Myrtle. That's what we're gonna name her because she looked exactly like that chick from Lilo and Stitch. You know, with the big orange hair and the huge glasses, except this chick was blonde. The other girls don't need to be named because they were nice and really they aren't really main parts in the story anyway. But hi girls, if you're watching and if you kind of remember me. She was one of those girls that just for some reason had something to say about me all the time. Like if anything that I did. Example, I would always wear this striped shirt every week, at least once a week, and she would say, "Why do you always wear that shirt?" And I would be like, "Because I like it." And she would just make this face. Or people would compliment my butt. I always had a very large butt. They would be like, "Wow, Michelle, your butt is so big." It's like that song with Sir Mix-a-Lot. Whoa. I went to school with quite a bit of white people, so I guess my butt seemed like it was special. But she would be in the corner and mutter something like, "It's kind of too big." And this was a time when I was very insecure about my body because, middle school, I looked different from everyone else. I was never that super like thin, middle schooler. I mean, one, I was different here. 2, I was new. 3, I had a body of a woman. I almost had double D boobs at 13. That's gonna make you feel a little bit different. And I wasn't even fat. Like when I look back at my like middle school pictures, I was just different, had a different body type than the other, you know, than most of the other girls. Side note, and I see that with a lot of like younger girls who think that they're fat. They're not even fat. They are just have a more athletic build than the other, you know, relatively naturally thin people that are in high school and middle school. And man, I wish I knew that when I was younger, because that wouldn't have set me up with a whole bunch of, you know, body issues as I got older. I could have just started with a healthy diet, stopped failing at all the crash diets, and been good to go. But that's not how adulting works. Okay, so anyway, so one day these girls actually invited me over to a sleepover, and I was like half excited, half kind of not excited, because 1, I would be connecting with new friends, and 2, I could be at home playing The Sims. But I wanted to go to make connections so I could have, you know, that awesome group of friends, you know, in middle school that we all just strive to have at that age. So it took 3 days to convince my mom to let me sleep at another person's house. If you don't know, Black parents are very weird about their children, their little miniature humans, sleeping at other people's houses. It was a process to get my mom to say yes. So when she said yes, I knew there was no backing out from this, because that doesn't happen. So I get to the house, I walk in, everyone says hi, and then Myrtle's like, oh, you came? Yeah, obviously, I'm standing right in front of you. And we have fun, we talk about boys, we play in makeup, blah, 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 all the middle school stuff. Then we end up outside on the trampoline, and we are going to play this game when everyone jumps at one time and bounces the person that did not jump. Okay, let's bounce Cindy. So we were jumping and I'm thinking, wow, I'm actually having a good time. I actually have friends and I think they like me and accept me. Let's bounce Myrtle. Here it is. It's my turn. Let's bounce. I finally have friends. Michelle, I actually made some friends at my new school. Oh, it's gonna be kind of hard to bounce her because she's so big. And it gets quiet as and no one said anything, but they ended up bouncing me and I didn't even feel a bounce because I was so freaking fat, like Myrtle said. Just kidding, but I felt like I didn't bounce because of what she just said, so that it makes you feel more insecure. So I just felt like a big old fat rock.
It's okay, Rocky.
I was so pissed the whole rest of the night that I didn't even eat the pizza that the mom got for us to eat. Just kidding, I dipped it in ranch. So fast forward into high school, I ended up moving away from that school, moving to Oregon, and then moving back to California into the high school, not the middle school. We are growing up, so we're in high school now. And guess whose high school I ended up at? Oh yeah, Myrtle's. We are once again in the same school. So she now hangs out with these two Black chicks, and I know she remembers my booty, but when she sees me, she says nothing. For all of high school, all three of them, they would look at me, then turn around and then just laugh. Because you know, like sitting by myself at lunch is just so hilarious to laugh at. Girls, I get it. Yeah, it was so funny. Just hilarious. I know. So once I made friends, my friends would tell me the things that Myrtle and friends would say about me, and it was all typical high school stuff like, nobody even likes her. Why do you guys hang out with her? Oh my gosh, she's so ugly. Now fast forward to present day. Well, like a few years ago. So I'm a fitness competitor. I'm actually in prep and I'm at the gym. I look up and guess who I see? Myrtle. And sis got big. She grew. She grew up and she grew. And she looked insecure and very uncomfortable, just like many newbies look when they're new to the gym. So we ended up making eye contact and I was about to start waving because, you know, we're all grown up now, so who cares? And she does this annoyed face, rolls her eyes, and turns away. And I'm sure what I'm going to tell you that I did next, you're probably going to say, Michelle, you're so childish, but I don't care. I was like, I'm gonna make sure Myrtle sees me and I'm gonna get all up in her area. This is my gym and now you're the new girl. So I start getting my dumbbells, my stability ball, my mat, and just set up my workout station right in front of her. I was doing deadlifts, pull-ups, one-arm push-ups. I was using the machine right next to her. Wanted to make sure Miss Myrtle got a good look at all of it. So Myrtle finishes up the exercise that she was doing and says nothing. The whole time, she really forced herself not to look at me. She did good. As she's walking away, I say, have a nice day, Myrtle. So she flat out ignores me, but when I said, have a nice day, I saw her twitch a little bit, but she didn't turn around. She just kept on walking. Now, before you say, you know, that was really kind of mean, she's insecure, you guys are supposed to be grown up, blah, 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 all this stuff. Personally, I feel like in high school, you have the mental capacity to know what rude is and what's not rude. I knew that was rude when I was like 5, so. And 2, let me just prove to you how much of a horrible person she still is. So later that day, probably within about an hour and a half after the gym, when I got home and checked, you know, good old Facebook. By the way, people who keep trying to add me on Facebook, thanks, but I'm never on there. Hate Facebook, love Instagram. So bloop, I get a new message on Facebook. And this is when it gets funny, when I was just kind of like She can't be serious. But she was. Hey, I didn't know that was you at the gym. I see you're a trainer now. I'm trying to get back into shape. Can you come to my house and train me? So I respond, hey Myrtle, I definitely knew that it was you at the gym. A lot has changed over the years. We're all grown up. I do in-home personal training. Here are my rates. Her response, wow, you're going to charge me for working out? Well, can you at least send me your workout program then? So I didn't even respond with a response because I felt like I was talking to her like we were back in high school. Like she felt like I was down here and she was up here, and she completely just expected me to do whatever she wanted because she was more popular than me or whatever went on in her head, even though we were about 25, 26 at this time. We're long out of high school. Calm down. So I responded without responding like personally and just sent her my online training prices, and she never responded. In fact, Myrtle blocked me. Why? Someone tell me why. Why would you think that Myrtle would block me after that? Also, answer me this. Am I wrong for being a little bit just happy that she ended up the way that she did? I mean, is it so bad that I'm just slightly a lot happy that Myrtle got her just desserts? And probably a little bit more than she needed. Kind of a joke about her and her side. She deserved it. She was so rude and entitled little person. Come on, we all wish that horrid creature of a woman or man who was just horrible to us in high school or middle school gets just a little kick in the butt when they get older. All while you get a chance to shine. Am I wrong? And once again, her acting like the entitled little princess that she is because she still believes that she's up here and I'm down here, that I should work for free, made it that much sweeter. P.S. Don't think that if she was like a nice person and she was cool to me like after high school and everything, even though she was rude to me in high school, I would still be kind of like all over the gym showing off like right in front of her. Because I've had instances where there was girls that were mean to me and then we met up, somehow met up, you know, like at the grocery store, ran into each other as an adult now, and we're actually really cool, probably like actually really close, but that's not how it happened with Myrtle, and she was kind of rude still, so I figured we're not in high school anymore, I'm all grown up. And my petty levels have increased tenfold since high school. Anyway, that was the story of when my bully got fat and then pretended that she didn't know who I was and then asked me to train her for free. Ugh, tragic. Well, tell me a little something about your school bully or work bully. And if you have graduated and it's been some years, how did your bully turn out? And can we stop using the word bully? I prefer asshat. Anyway, I will see you guys next time. Remember, you don't need to be a size 2. And abs are really nice to have, but they are not needed. But health is very important, and I wish health on all of you guys, even Myrtle, now that I got that out of my system. And remember, don't be an asshat. You never know, 5 to 10 years after high school, someone might just draw stick figures of you, post it online in a video form, and talk about how much of a jerk kid you were, and then how much of a jerk adult you were. So, don't do that. Bye, guys.
Yes, sir.